Yeah.
All right, can y'all hear us now?
Man, it's a lot of stuff tonight.
Oh gosh.
What is
There we
going
go.
on?
I should have known something when I didn't hear anything from here. I'm gonna let you hold that so you
Okay,
can see
yeah,
the
I'll hold this.
chats and stuff. Oh, righty, y'all. Okay, so we got the audio back. Once again, we wish that we were able to continue with the live that we had going, but unfortunately, it wouldn't let us get back into it. But we're going to just pull up a new one. We're going to keep rolling, and we're going to push it out to the masses. All right. So, with that being said, we have the first topic that we want to go into. This is some foundational stuff to really help get things on track moving forward. And this is actually something that we came into the knowledge of while we were on our trip in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And we were actually listening to this audiobook because we had 24 hours of driving.
It's a long time. Both ways.
We got a lot of books that we could listen to.
Going and coming. Lots of books.
And this one really really hit to our core in addition to the Archangel Michael videos that we were listening to, which we shared that with our Royal Twin Flames, and hopefully you all are enjoying that as well. And actually, hold on, before I get too far, let me pop out. Oh, you got the chat there, so you see.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're able to see the chat. Okay. All right. But yeah, so yeah, we shared that with our Royal Twin Flames, and hopefully you all are enjoying it. If you don't have that link, definitely hit us up, and we'll make sure we get that link to you so that you can listen to those audiobooks as well. Because when we're talking about getting ready for Ascension, that's like a really good one to get you a good foundation to go on. Okay.
Charlotte said she listened to all of them.
We did too.
That is so dope.
All 40 videos.
Yeah, that is so dope, Charlotte.
Yeah, and then they're actually coming out with, I think they're doing one each week.
Yeah, they do one each week. We were just doing the catch up, and they also have the light workers one.
Yeah, light workers ascension tools.
Yeah, I mean it's so profound. The information that they're giving out, and again, we all on different levels of our journey. So just sometimes you listen and know what to throw away and what to keep. You know what resonates with you and what doesn't. So depending on of course, where you're at on your journey, right?
Yes. And for those of you who are watching that are maybe looking for any type of card readings, after we go through this slide here, we're going to open it up for those who would like to have a card pulled for you. And of course, our Royal Twin Flames, the only thing you have to do is drop your Chris and Alicia heart, and we will make sure to get a reading card pulled for you. But for those, the information will scroll along the bottom shortly so that you'll know where to send the donations via Cashapp, or you can send the donations via Super Chat. And also, if you have any questions as we go through these slides, You can also drop a question via Super Chat, or if you're a Royal Twin Flame, you'll be able to drop a question as well. All right. That was a mouthful.
That was a mouthful. Just trying to do some catch up from the previous video. Yeah. Man's not fast. Yes.
All right. So here we go. We're going to jump into it. And so this is actually a book. Once again, this is an audio book that we went through, and we had an opportunity to listen to the audio book while we were on our journey through Arizona and back.
Yes.
And the 4 agreements.
Very interesting journey. I tell you this, boy. Make sure you're ready for Sedona. Okay? Don't just feel about it and just I'm going to
jump in.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Make sure you're prepared for Sedona, because Sedona is a literal washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
Sedona is a washing machine for your spirit and your soul.
Yes.
And it's going to wash you. And then when it's finished washing you, it's going to spin dry you.
Yes.
And then when it's done spin drying you, it's going to put you out to dry with some nice fabric softener. Okay? That's the energy, because when you well, that's if you get the lesson, I should say, that you came there, or you get what you came there for, If not, you'll just go back again, right? But
yeah,
the energy in Sedona, it's very, very unique. It's very, very magical.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something about Sedona that you can't really, well, I can't even explain it. But just make sure you're ready for Sedona, because Sedona is ready for you. You just got to be ready for Sedona.
Right. All right. So this first one, baby, you want to go over the first agreement that would be pretty good to have with ourselves.
Yes. So we're going to go over these agreements. Now, these agreements are so helpful in this ascension. Like, if you don't even know about ascension and you follow these 4 agreements, or you find a way to incorporate these 4 agreements into your daily life, you're going to ascend no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's so easy. The instructions are so easy, but because of programs, outdated programs and belief systems, it could seem like it's difficult, but it's really not.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about that when we get further in.
All right.
So the first one, as you can see, is be impeccable with your word.
Right.
Okay?
Yes, be impeccable with your word. And just like, just for example, like these people in this picture, they said that we're going to throw you up in the air and we're going to catch you.
Boy, they better catch her.
Okay? So if they are impeccable with their word, they're going to catch her.
Yeah.
Right? But if they are not impeccable with their word,
oh boy. That's a different story.
Yes.
So you see, this is why it's important for us to be impeccable with our word, because this is very symbolic of being impeccable with your word. And when you're not impeccable with your word, what happens? Pretty simple.
You let some people down.
Literally. in the literal sense.
All right. But let's break it down just a little bit further. Okay? And if you would mind break it down this first part, I'm going to get us some water.
Yes. Go ahead, baby. I got you. So being impeccable with your word. Chris and Alicia, even though my baby left to go get some water, why is it important for us to be impeccable with our word? And what does this have to do with me ascending, right? Okay, so it says here, Riz states that while this alignment is the most important, it is the most difficult one to honor. Pretty interesting, huh? So let's break it down. The word impeccable comes from the Latin word peccatus, meaning sin. Wow, sin, right? And the im in the beginning of impeccable is a Latin prefix that means without. So Ruse describes a sin to be anything that goes against oneself. That's a slow motion, guys. A sin is not like what they tell us, right? A sin is really something that you do that goes against yourself, that goes against your core, like your values, like that young lady today when she sent those pictures, right? Knowing that she shouldn't even have sent it. She went against herself. So in that case, you can, that's really how you use that word, sin. So So, and therefore, being impeccable with language means to take responsibility for one's actions and remain without judgment against oneself and others. So this is some stuff right here. So it's just being impeccable with your word is not going against yourself. And remember, we talked about knowing who you are. So a prerequisite of not going against yourself is knowing who self is, right? That's super important. And then he also went on to say, in essence, this agreement focuses on the significance of speaking with integrity and carefully choosing words before saying them aloud. Man, man, gosh. So words, we already know that they're spells, pretty much, right? Because you go to school to learn how to spell ABCs. You know the alpha and the beta, the alphabets, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we go to school to learn how to make spells with words. So words are very, very super powerful. You know, the tongue, you could create life or or death with the tongue because it's like a sword. So this is how your words are super impeccable. You
Yes.
want to be impeccable with your words. You want to have meaning and substance to your words. Your words. You know, my mom used to tell me when I was growing up that she used to say something about the words and you being only as what did she say?
You're only as good as the words.
She used to tell me something
Something
about the
good as the
word.
words you keep.
No, what was it? Gosh, it almost came and then it left.
Mm.
Gosh, it left.
It'll come back.
It'll come back, and I'm gonna tell you what she says for stuff like this when it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can speak life into someone, or you can literally speak death. I mean, the words are so super powerful. So you want to be impeccable with your words. You want to do what you say that you're gonna do. Oh, she used to tell me that your word is your bond.
Yes, which is very true, and we actually have to
Yeah.
get back to that because,
Yeah.
like her mom said, your word is your bond. Your word is also creating your world.
World and word. You see, they're very close for a reason, etymology wise. World and word.
Yeah, and so when you're impeccable with your word, it makes your life a little bit more easier because you can't just let's just say you say you're going to do the work to get in union with your twin flame, right? You have to be impeccable with your word, and before you even say that you're going to do the work, you have to find out what is the work. You have to find out what does it mean to know thyself.
Yes.
Because if you say you're going to know yourself and you're going to put in the efforts to really heal, you have to understand what does healing look like. And to be quite honest, for somebody who is healed from a broken heart, one of the signs of somebody who's healed of a broken heart is that they're not looking for external comfort. I'm just gonna say that, and I'm gonna
Just
leave
gonna
it.
let that sit
I'm
right
just
there
gonna
for a
leave
little
that.
bit.
I'm gonna leave that there for a moment.
Let that sit
But
down right there.
you have to be impeccable with your word, and being impeccable with your word also means that you know the responsibilities that come behind certain things that you say or do. Well, be careful because I don't want that to turn that off.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna just hold this right here. My bad.
Now I'm gonna bring the chat back up here so we can see into that. But yeah, you definitely want to be impeccable with your words. You gotta not just throw words out there just because you hear it in the conscious community, like, oh, love and light,
Right.
grand rising,
Namaste.
you know,
It's cliche words. I mean,
yeah.
just
Don't be one of them that just throw out words just because it sound good. Like, make sure that you're saying things and you know the weight that comes behind it.
Exactly. And with that being said, this just leads us right into the next one. And this one is a biggie right here. Don't take anything personal.
Oh gosh,
We just gonna let it sit.
Now we're gonna let this sit, and we're gonna explain this little image here.
Look, live by love. Said my grandmother used to say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yes.
Yo, these ancestors knew what it was.
Yes, they did. They did. Now, just take a look at this image here. Now, I don't know what happened, but I'm pretty sure
Look at
this
his.
guy.
He don't believe. He don't believe.
This guy over here that said something that just rubbed these two ladies all the way wrong.
Look at his face though. He got that face on.
Oh my gosh.
God, he got the face.
But so apparently, just because pictures tell 1,000 words, and just based off of your imagination, which is one of the things we're going to get into in just a moment, because it's actually going to be the next agreement, is that if you just look at this and just let your imagination run wild, you could think, oh, he just said some really sexist, misogynistic stuff, and these ladies are looking at him like, I know this nigga didn't.
And look at this other one looking at him like, I know he didn't just say that. He about to get it.
But here's the thing, y'all, because let me turn that back on here. Okay, because the thing is,
Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
The thing is that with this agreement and not taking things personal, let me just we're just going to help explain some things here. So we're going to come into the screen here so you can see us. Okay. When you don't take things personally, well, first I'm going to read this paragraph so you all can see, because this is just some kind of excerpts, or is it inserts or excerpts? I don't know, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It's some pieces from the book. Excerpts. There you go. Okay. It advocates the importance of having a strong sense of self and not needing to rely on the opinions of others in order to be content and satisfied with their self-image. This agreement also, this agreement also allows the reader to understand the notion that everyone has unique world views that alter their own perceptions, and that the actions and beliefs of a person is a projection of their own personal reality.
Oh my gosh. Did y'all hear that?
I'm gonna read that one more time.
Read that bottom part one more time.
This agreement also allows the reader to understand the notion that everyone has a unique worldview that alters their own perspectives. Perceptions. That alter their own perceptions. Okay? And that the actions and the beliefs of a person is a projection of their own personal reality.
Ooh, wee! Did y'all hear that? Y'all caught that, right? Y'all caught that?
Yeah.
In other words, in other news, okay? Don't take anything anyone says personal. And this is a life hack, actually. This is a absolute life hack.
Yes.
When someone comes at you and they tell you, oh, you look horrible. Oh, look how you look in that dress. Oh, that don't look right. Oh, you don't sound good. Oh, why you stutter? Oh, what? All these things that anyone has to say to you, okay, it's really not your problem.
It's not. It is not.
This has nothing to do with you, but everything to do what's on the inside from their perception they project.
Yes.
Okay? Projection from their perception. So you don't take anything anyone says personal. If somebody tells you, oh gosh, you look good, look at you. Oh, look at them shoes. Oh, look at your hair. What did you do? That person could be in a good mood.
Yes.
They could be feeling good about themselves. They could be feeling good about life. There's nothing wrong with that. That is fantabulous. Don't take it personal.
No.
If somebody tells you, ooh, those look horrible. Where did you get that? Oh, you look fat. You look disgusting. That's where they're at. They're projecting. They're actually telling you a story of where they're at right now.
Yeah, and actually, let me come back and cover one other part on this, because this is really key.
Yeah.
Okay. See, where is that first part? Okay. It advocates the importance of having a strong sense of self and not needing to rely on the opinions of others in order to be content and satisfied with their self-image. So what that means is that just because you say I look good doesn't make me feel better.
Boom.
Because I already know on the bomb.com you can't tell me otherwise.
And this is not about, feeling like you're better than someone else.
No, it's
they're saying nothing. Again, we moving away from that age of believing into the age of knowing. Right. We're coming out of the Piscean energy and we're stepping into the Aquarius energy, which is an information. Right, how you form yourself on the inside. Right. When you know things, you can formulate self better. Right.
Yeah.
So it all has to do with knowing who you are and standing in who you are, grounding in who you are.
Yes.
So and this does help for you to transcend this 3D up into the fifth dimension, into understanding and overstanding that don't take things personally. It literally makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah. Because at that point, you're just like a duck when it comes to water. It just rolls right off your back.
Yeah.
And if you notice how it may be pouring down raining, but it has no effect on that duck. They're still either laying down on the grass or they swimming in the water. It does not affect them. They continue to move on. And let me break down and give you an exact reason why it's really important not to take things personally.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm going to give you both ends of the spectrum. Okay, let's just say you are in the park, you're meditating, you're connecting with Mother Earth, and you are raising your vibration, right? And then somebody comes along and says, "Oh, she's not even posing right. Look at her mudras; she's not even holding her hands right." And if you if you take that personally, it is going to take you out of that high vibe, and you're going to come out like, who are you to correct me on my meditation? I'm trying to center myself. You can have a good day. Just you even interacting with that individual means that you are giving validity to what they are saying.
And now you can't even meditate. See? So you really taking yourself out of alignment by taking things personally.
Yeah.
You're literally buying someone else's energy, or maybe even taking you paying for it because you're giving up your state of of where you're at to collect something else. So every day that we move, we're doing an exchange of energy. Whether it's even when you breathe, it's an exchange of energy with the plants. They give you something, we give them something. You're doing a constant exchange on this planet, constantly. Every second, you're engaging in an exchange, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just a state of raising your awareness. Right. Another way for you to raise your awareness is not to take anything personal.
Right. And let's just go to the other end of the spectrum. Okay. Let's just say you've been working out in the gym and you have gotten your body down quite a bit, but you know you still got some more work to do, right? But you go out and about, you go to a party, and one of your best friends you hadn't seen in a while said, "Oh my gosh, you look good! Like, what you been doing?
Right.
Like, your curves looking all good, you glowing." And so if you take it personal, when it comes the next day, you may not work out as hard as you should. Wow. Or you may not even work out at all. You be like, you know what? I look good. But what you have done is that you already knew in your mind that you still got another 10 pounds to lose. But because you're taking somebody's opinion personally, it is now taking you off of your track. And now you're not reaching to that real goal that you wanted to achieve. Okay? So don't take anything personally.
Right, right.
Whether it's good or if it's bad,
Mm-hmm.
don't take it personally.
Do not.
Be confident in who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Be confident in the goals that you have set for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and do not stop until you get them accomplished.
Right? Man, know thyself.
All
And
right.
all of these points go back to knowing who you are, by the way.
Yep. In a nutshell, that's all it really is. All right. So we're going to go into the next one.
This one
Which
right
is
here gets a lot of people
we-
into a lot of situations.
We're just going to let y'all sit here and marinate on this,
We're
right?
not even gonna say it. We just gonna let it sit there.
Oh gosh, what's going on in the comments? We're gonna read the comments while y'all let this sit in.
We
for
just
a
gonna
second.
let this marinate in the chat right here.
Yes.
We just gonna let that sit there. Give it a second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's let that soak in, and then we gonna speak to that.
Yeah, buddy.
And we got a lot to say to that.
Wow, that's deep.
Y'all see that?
She said I'm back.
You
Okay.
back, Max? Welcome,
Hey,
welcome.
Max, we glad you're back. You came back at the right one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
We just letting this marinate right here. We're not even saying it yet.
Oh, wow. So the third agreement that would be really good.
Live by love. Say, oh God, where is my mama? She needs to see this slide. Charlotte say, speak to that.
Don't make assumptions.
Man.
Now, if you look at this guy's face, he is crossing his fingers for, I guess, for whatever situation to work out in his favor. And so he is assuming that things are going to work out in his favor. But if he actually uncrossed his fingers and actually did some work, he can make sure that things go in their way.
Yeah.
But I digress. We're going to get into some other with this, okay? Let me just come on back in here. So hopefully you all see that it's resonating in your spirit.
I think Mex already resonating. She said, "This is what I told my supervisor. I still want to bite his head off. I don't blame you."
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
So
let's speak to that.
So let's speak to that. So you go ahead and get the first one.
All right. So this is the third agreement, guys. Number 3. Uno, dos, tres. You know that's the magic number.
Mm-hmm.
So the third agreement describes the issue of making assumptions, how it leads to suffering. I want to say unnecessary suffering sometimes.
Unnecessary suffering.
Very
yes.
unnecessary. And why individuals should not partake in making them. Like at all. At all. When one assumes what others are thinking, it can create stress and interpersonal conflict between the person believes the assumption is a representation of the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people get caught up. I think what this is really trying to say is that a lot of people get caught up in thinking that their assumption is the truth, and some take it a lot further and they think that their assumption is a fact. Now that is very dangerous.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Okay, we're gonna have to take this some of the time. We're gonna have to break this down some of the time, guys.
I'm gonna go to the next bullet point, and then I'm gonna let you do the last one, and then we're gonna really get into this one because this is an agreement that we all need to have with each other.
Yes.
Not just on relationships, but I'm talking about in dealing with any relationship with your government, with your doctor, with your partner, with your kids, all of this stuff.
Everybody.
But
in the lower nature, in the higher nature, in the middle nature, just in every nature.
In spiritual nature, don't even assume. Okay, second bullet point is a solution to overcome the act of assuming is to ask questions.
The right questions.
Yeah, the right questions. A solution to overcoming the act of assuming is to ask the right questions and ensure that communication is clear between the persons involved.
I'm telling you, this is a lifesaver right here.
It's a lifesaver. It will release so much stress.
Oh gosh. And the last one, it says individuals can avoid, which means you ain't got to go through it. Individuals can avoid misunderstandings. Look at that. Sadness. And what? Drama. By not making assumptions. Like, this is like 80%. I would say at least 80% of situations stems from assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you feel like we might be wrong, you could put something in the chat.
Yeah.
But I I have a strong feeling like, if you guys have this experience, just put it in the chat. Like, I have that experience. I feel like a lot of the things that I've went through, a lot of my experiences probably could have been avoided if I had some more clarity, right?
Right.
So if you guys can relate to that, just go
Yeah.
ahead and drop something in the chat.
Yeah. So we just gonna yeah, we're gonna spend a moment and talk about this one. And actually, while we're talking about this one, I'm gonna also pull up the information so that you all can, at this point, if you want to start putting in requests for a card reading after we finish going through these 4 agreements, you can send that information via Cash App, or you can make a donation via Super Chat, at least $10 or more. So that way we have an equal energy exchange and we can get into it.
Oh, Meg said,
Mm-hmm.
wow, because she was dealing with a big assumption situation. This is a good example of an assumption. She said she still never acknowledged that he still never acknowledged that his assumptions were wrong when he accused me of stealing time for the federal agency. Then get his ass in a meeting this week talking about health and family. So you see, so that assumption right there was just unethical, and it was just uncalled for. And then, to put the icing on the cake, usually with assumptions usually comes with the energy of well, the one who's doing the assuming, I should say, usually comes with the energy of guilt. um what's that other word? Guilt, and it's another thing that comes with that energy of assumption besides guilt. Denial. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Guilt and denial comes along with that energy of assumption, because what happens when you assume and you were completely wrong? Usually you get the ego is what gets affected.
Yeah.
And like somebody who's egotistical, like somebody who literally lives in their ego, who identifies strongly with their ego, with their persona, when they and it's funny because they're the ones that do a lot of assumptions. But when they make individual like that make an assumption and they're wrong, it very often leads to the guilt and the feeling ashamed and denial. And then that just leaves it to where it's never talked about. Right? So oftentimes that's what you'll experience with something like that.
Yeah, but just to give some examples of assuming and how things can go wrong. And they can all be avoided. All of this, the sorrow, the disappointment, the guiltiness, the gosh, you just said the word and I forgot it.
Denial.
Denial
can be denial.
Yeah, it can all be avoided, because let's just bring it down to the twin flame level. We're on twin flames with Twin Flames Unite. A lot of twin flames go through this. A lot of people assume that just because they're twin flames that they're supposed to be in a relationship.
We got an 11-11 coming through, baby. And look at that. 11-11, and we talking about twin flames, so we know we got to pay attention to this one.
Right. And this is not all, but this is not for all of our twin flames. And this is part of the reason why we cut the chats for this particular live, because we want you all to be able to listen, Linda, listen. A lot of the assumptions come in with just because you find out that you have a twin flame that you're just automatically supposed to be in a relationship. Not knowing if that is the case. But here's the crazy thing. How would you find the answer to that question? So many people would assume that they have to go to a twin flame reader for somebody to come through and say XYZ is your, well, actually not XYZ, but say that John Doe is your twin flame.
Mm.
But I'm here to bring some clarity for you in 2020. The only individual or entity that can confirm for you who is your twin flame is your higher self. Now, when you get that answer from your higher self, it is very crystal clear.
Yeah, clear as day.
There's no miscommunication
No
when you
confusion.
when you truly connect with your higher self. There is no misunderstanding. Okay, so if there is any doubt, then you got to clear up that doubt first. You got to figure out where's that doubt coming from, and if that doubt is even yours. Okay. So, but there's a lot of assuming with not having without knowing the truth.
Yeah.
Okay? You have to know what the truth is, and the truth doesn't matter if you're happy or sad, the truth just is.
Right.
Okay? And also, assuming that, we got some guys who do this, they like to joke a lot, but sometimes they joke too much. But when they joke, they assume that, hey, everybody want to joke and they like the way I joke. Like, no, everybody don't like your corny jokes.
Oh, wow.
Or some people get offended by your jokes.
Right. That's an assumption.
What's some other assumptions, baby?
I know a very popular one. I see it all the time. It's the assumption of being in a relationship. I see that, people can assume that they're in a relationship and they're really not. So that's dangerous, though.
That hurt right there.
It's dangerous.
I felt that right here.
And I see it a lot, where people, and it takes somebody really going within to understand and overstand these things, and not to make assumption. And it might sound crazy, like, what do you mean people assuming that they're in a relationship? You
gotta give examples.
I'm about to break it down. I mean, that could sound like out there, right? But you might be surprised how out there it is not, and how common it is.
It is.
It's very, very common.
It shouldn't be common, but it is.
It is, and I'm gonna just break it down how common it is. Okay, boy meets girl, right? Boy invites girl over to the movies the day that boy meets girl. Boy meets girl again on the day number 4. Boy and girl probably go out to eat. Okay, boy buy girl some flowers, and boy might get a present for girl, right? But the one thing that the girl doesn't know is that she's not the only one that's getting the flowers. She's not the only one that's going to the movies. She's not the only one that's getting text messages. So maybe 2 weeks after boy meets girl, boy invites girl, or vice versa. It could be vice versa. Girl, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay? Brings them over to the house, and then they have a exchange of energy, sexual exchange of energy. Now, in some people's mind, believe it or not, when they do a sexual exchange of energy, in their mind, they're in a relationship. Okay? If you're going over to someone's house maybe 5-6 times out of the week, you bringing food over, they come into your house, they're bringing food over, you could easily assume that you're in a relationship.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there, babe, because you telling one of my stories.
I'm just
like see, this is so common that it even happened to me.
Yeah. And
I'm just gonna be straight transparent with you all, and hope you are strapped on. It's after 10 o'clock, so this is late night talk now.
Yeah, I'm listen. It happens a lot. It happened to me one time.
So can I talk
Go
about
on, baby. You talk about speak to that.
Speak to that. So just real talkers, like we say so often, what we talk about on this channel is not something that we kind of know about or we read about. We've actually experienced. We know it.
I know it happened to me for sure.
And so I remember, right, I think I had just started. Yeah, I was right in college, right? And I hadn't got my car yet, but yeah, I hadn't got my car yet. And I met this young lady. She was cute and everything, and we hung out a few times. And then we started becoming cut buddies. Telling my age now, right?
Cut buddies.
Y'all know that. Y'all, if y'all are 80s baby, you know that song Cut Buddy.
Man.
Okay? So you know what I'm talking about. And we stayed that way for a few months. Few months, right? Now, but me, I'm touchy feely type guy. I'm starting to catch feelings. And one day I just came out and I was like, yo, can we just make this official? I mean, we getting together like every other night. We going to hanging out at different places. We going to the movies and things like that. I'm bringing you food to eat. You bringing me food to eat. I mean, come on, let's just make this official. She was like, nah, I just wanted the sex part. I was like,
You was in a whole relationship.
I was in a whole relationship. Like, you couldn't tell me that wasn't my girl.
Wow.
But
that's see, look at that. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
And that's because we are assuming. We assume relationships, we assume situations, we assume circumstances, we even assume friendships. Right? Have you ever had a best friend, in your mind that's your best friend, but in their mind you're just an associate?
Ooh. Golly. Let me come back. Oh, snap. Hold on. Hit that one more time. Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Say that one more time.
Man, y'all better stop playing with me. Because I know what happened to me. That happened to me. Okay? Listen, I wasn't always woke now. Okay?
Go ahead.
Walking around these streets, right? You got a whole best friend in your mind, but in their mind, you're just an affiliate or an associate.
Ooh.
Okay? Because the let me say like Charlotte, she called it the situationship.
Oh, the situationship.
So in their mind, the situationship, the entanglement. Wait a minute. The situationship that you share with that individual, it cuts off at the benefit point. So where the benefit stops, that's where the situationship stops. It halts. Okay? So you might be giving out more, way more than what you're turning in, right? Okay? Lots more. You might be doing all types of stuff. Setting up this, setting up that, ordering this, ordering that. Whew. And you lucky if you get a text back. Like, these are just the type of things that happen from assumptions. Yes. Is what we're trying to say. Assumptions.
Just get some clarity.
Assumptions can really lead you to places that you don't want to be or experiences that you don't want to necessarily experience. Right?
Yeah.
So this word assumption is a big thing. It's a huge thing, and this is why we're driving it home so hard. And just to put the icing on the cake, I'm just going to read this one more again, okay? I'm going to read this one more again. Y'all ready? The third agreement describes the issue of making assumptions, how it leads to suffering, and why individuals should not partake in making them, which is making assumptions. When one assumes what others are thinking, it can create stress and interpersonal conflict between the person, okay? That other person is literally believing their assumption is a representation of what is true or fact, okay? Okay, a solution to overcoming active assumption is to ask questions, guys. Ask,